Jason George, wildlife adventurer. In this episode, we join Jason as he shows us some highlights of his trip on the last day of May, where he ends up seeing 7 moose, 2 foxes, and 6 loons. It was an early start to the day, but I got there and it was about 7:30, and I had already spotted my first moose. Each of my moose experiences will have its own video. This is just a little highlight reel of my moose encounters. Well, actually, all of my animal encounters on this trip. I hope that you enjoy and get to see your own moose. But I have some really awesome footage, so I wanted to share it with you in case you've never seen a moose. Let me know if you have seen a moose, and if you have, share and tell me more about it. Where was it? Was it male or female? Well, in this video, you'll see not only males, but you'll see females, you'll see a yearling, and you'll see them with different antler growth. You can see the velvet that's growing on top of them. Yeah. Every wintertime, those antlers will fall off. And one day, I would love to find my own antler in the bush. That would be so amazing. I found deer antlers, and that's a pretty cool thing. What about you? Have you ever found an antler, moose or deer? Share with me. I think I'm at about 10 or 13 deer antlers. 0 moose antlers, but one day I'd love to find this guy's antlers. So one of the things about seeing a moose in Algonquin Park that most people don't realize is a lot of them end up fairly close to the road. And that can be dangerous not only for the person driving the vehicle, but also for the moose. And in a little bit, I am going to show you a dead moose carcass. It's not too graphic, but I just want you to know so that you can maybe look away and not be too grossed out. But if you're enjoying this video, please like, share, subscribe, and check out some of the other things I do, like write books, I have a hot sauce, and I started my own wildlife club. Well, let's get back to that dead moose. So this dead moose, close to the road, ends up becoming food for the other animals. So it does help the circle of life, but this female moose, I don't know if it was planning to get hit by a car, and I wonder what damage it did to the car. This is pretty cool. Have you ever seen a dead moose? What about a gray jay or a Canada jay? When I go to the park, I always like to stop by the totem pole and pay my respects to those that have been on the land before. For those of you who have never been, it's at the East Gate, and it's pretty. I noticed this head in the tall grasses, and as I started to examine it closer, I noticed something else in the distance. And then it moved, and I moved to try to get in a better location, and I spotted this one pathway where I hoped it would go, and it opened up into that pathway. And I got to see this beautiful female. And then, just like I thought, the little yearling came running out. I just got a brief glimpse of her before they left. And around the next corner, I found a loon, and it was eating. And as I was observing it, I noticed a second loon. I love loons, and what's awesome is I had recently just saved a loon. If you want to see that video, check it out on my YouTube channel. It's pretty cool. And I feel that I was rewarded with getting to see these loons. Unfortunately, there was a dead bird that I found. I spotted 2 more loons, so now I'm at 4 loons. This is a pretty amazing day in Algonquin Park. Have you ever been to the park? What animals have you seen in the park? The one animal that I would love to see is a cat of some kind. I was already having a good day, and then I spotted my 4th moose. Oh, this day is getting really good. And just like with my books that I write, I always try to share those funny or things that maybe most people don't share. So if you go back and look, you'll notice that that moose was peeing. Some people might be wondering what's going on with their coats. Well, this is what happens between fall and summer. This is their spring coat. So their thick, heavy winter coat is now starting to fall off. And this is unfortunately what moose look like in the springtime. We'll try to come back in the fall. Well, actually, we'll come back later in the spring and try to find some babies. That would be cool. Although I didn't find any young baby moose, I found some eggs of a bird. I'm not sure what kind of babies they are. If you know, let me know. And then I found moose 5, and this was an interesting encounter as this moose got way too close to me. And I didn't know what to do, but I made sure to keep my car between this moose and myself. And then it crossed the road, and this is where it's pretty dangerous. But we were able to stop the vehicles, and they were respectful of this moose, and they enjoyed it. So this moose was able to cross safely. But now I know why the moose crossed the road. It was to get a drink on the other side. Did you know why the moose crossed the road? Well, this moose was hanging out with us for so long that I was able to get a pretty fun picture, because I had brought my stuffed animal Bones with me. And so Bones got a picture with the moose. What always amazes me is how easily and quickly these large animals are able to vanish into the forest with just a few branches. And then I found Loon 5 and 6. I almost got to catch Loon 1 and 2 mating, I think, but I saw something on the road and I stopped, and this fox came running towards me, which probably means that people are feeding this fox. And then I got to witness the fox hunting, and it was so cool. I know that, again, not everybody's for this, but it is the circle of life, and I know that this fox has a den somewhere. Did it get it? I'm not 100% sure, It might have grabbed a small thing for itself, or it missed it. And then it's marking its scent, and I'm now got in front of it, and it comes running towards me before it vanishes. And then I find a female, and look at how easily and powerful this thing is at getting up onto the road. And now it is quite terrifying because this one's just hanging out on the road. Oh, I'm so glad that it crossed the road safely. And yep, it made it to the swamp, and then it decided that this side of the road wasn't good enough for it, and it wanted to head back. And so now there's more cars, but luckily most of them have stopped to enjoy this beautiful moose. And so you do not want to get close to the moose, but sometimes it comes towards you. And just how these people, they kept the car in between them, I think that's the smart move. And then I got the go home moose, which is always my favorite moose because it's on my way home. It's not always the last moose I see because I might see another one, but on my way home I always try to see a go home moose. And you'll see that this one just has small nubs of antlers. And hopefully one day it grows to be big and strong. But I hope that you've enjoyed this journey and you check out each individual experience with the 7 different moose from this experience. Well, until next time, stay safe, have fun, and keep enjoying the wildlife.